Namaste बिटिया, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया. A very good morning to you all. Myself, JV and Dr. Ravi Jain, Assistant Professor, Department of Practice of Medicine and Faculty of Homeopathic Science at Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. In this series of lectures, we are discussing about the various diseases of the hematological system. In the previous lectures, we have been discussing about anemia, different types of anemias. We have also discussed about lymphomas and leukemias. So all these diseases we have already discussed. We have discussed about the etiology, the pathogenesis, the clinical features, the investigations, and the management of all such diseases. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about thalassemia. What is thalassemia? What are the different types of thalassemia? And what is the etiopathogenesis? What are the different clinical features that we are going to observe in thalassemia? How to investigate a case of thalassemia? And how to manage such cases. All these things we are going to discuss in today's lecture. So let's start with thalassemia. What is thalassemia? It is an inherited impairment of the hemoglobin production. So what is happening in thalassemia? In thalassemia, there is inherited impairment. Impairment of what? Impairment of the hemoglobin production. So the hemoglobin is not produced properly in thalassemia, and in which there is partial or complete failure to synthesize a specific type of globin chain. So what is happening in the thalassemia? The hemoglobin is not properly formed, and there is either partial or complete failure to synthesize a specific type of globin chain. So based on that particular thing, we have two types of thalassemia. One can be alpha thalassemia, and the second one is the beta thalassemia. About the hemoglobin, we have already discussed in the anemia that what is hemoglobin and what are the different chains of hemoglobin. In hemoglobinopathies, we have studied about the other types of diseases related to the hemoglobin, like sickle cell anemia we have already discussed, and the other diseases. So today we are going to move ahead with that hemoglobin diseases, and today we are going to discuss about thalassemias. So here what is happening is the globin chain is not properly formed, and based on the cause for the development of this specific globin chain, it is of two types. We have one, the alpha thalassemia, and the second one is the beta thalassemia. There is imbalance of the globin chain that causes hemolysis and impaired erythropoiesis. So because of the derangement of these two types of chains, either alpha chain or the non-alpha chain, which is the beta chain, there is a hemolysis, that is, there is excessive destruction of the RBCs, and also there is impaired erythropoiesis, that is impaired production of the RBCs that we are going to see in case of thalassemia. Now let us first of all discuss about the alpha thalassemia. Now, what is alpha thalassemia? In the alpha thalassemia, there is disruption of one or both alleles on the chromosome 16. So what is happening in the alpha thalassemia? There is disruption of one or both alleles of the chromosome 16, and with the production of some or non-alpha globin chains. So in alpha thalassemia, there is the disruption of one or both alleles on the chromosome 16, and there is a production of some or no alpha globin chains. There is reduced or absent synthesis of the alpha globin chain. So in thalassemia, there is disruption of one or both alleles on the chromosome 16, and there is production of some or no alpha globin chains, and there is reduced or absent synthesis of the alpha globin chains. Now, what is happening in the beta thalassemia? In the beta thalassemia, there is reduced or absent synthesis of the beta globin chain. So if the alpha chain is getting disturbed, if there is absent synthesis or reduced synthesis of the alpha chain, it will lead to the development of the alpha thalassemia. And if there is reduced or absent synthesis of the beta globin chain, then it will be responsible for development of beta thalassemia. Now, beta thalassemia is the failure to synthesize beta chains. And beta thalassemia is the most common type of thalassemia that you are going to see in your practice. So the most common type of thalassemia that you are going to observe in your clinical practice is the beta thalassemia. Beta thalassemia can be of two types. When both the chains are of same type, then it is known as the homozygous. And when it is of opposite type, then it is known as heterozygous. So beta thalassemia, when the body is not able to synthesize the beta chain, and beta thalassemia is the most common type of thalassemia that we are going to encounter. There are two types of beta thalassemia. One is homozygous, that is known as thalassemia major. In thalassemia major, the body is not able to synthesize hemoglobin A, and they develop profound hypochromic anemia. So there is excessive or profound development of the hypochromic anemia. The second variety is the heterozygous variety, that is also known as thalassemia minor. As the name suggests, minor means the symptoms of thalassemia will be mild here. There will be mild anemia with little or no clinical disability. So there are two types of thalassemias. We have thalassemia, alpha thalassemia and beta thalassemia. Beta thalassemia is the most common type of thalassemia. And again, the beta thalassemia is divided into two types, that is thalassemia major and thalassemia minor. In thalassemia major, the body or the bone marrow is unable to synthesize hemoglobin A, and this developed profound hypochromic anemia. In the heterozygous thalassemia or the thalassemia minor, the anemia is mild and there is little or no clinical disability. Now, how to diagnose beta thalassemia? Whenever a patient of beta thalassemia is coming to us, how can we diagnose such given condition? For diagnosis of thalassemia major, we are going to observe profound hypochromic anemia. In case of thalassemia major, there will be severe red cell dysplasia. There will also be erythroblastosis and absence or gross reduction in the amount of hemoglobin A. There will also be raised levels of hemoglobin F, and the evidence that both parents have thalassemia minor will be seen. So diagnostic feature, in case of beta thalassemia major, there will be profound hypochromic anemia. There will be severe red cell dysplasia. The patient will have erythroblastosis. That is erythroblastosis fetalis, means death of the child in the, or death of the fetus will take place in utero only. There will be absence or gross reduction in the amount of hemoglobin A, and there will be raised amount of hemoglobin F. In the history, you will find that both the parents are thalassemia minor. Next, we have thalassemia major. In the thalassemia major, we are going to observe mild anemia. The patient will have mild anemia, and there will be microcytic hypochromic erythrocytes, that is not iron deficient, and there will be punctate basophilia. So we are going to observe punctate basophilia. There will be raised hemoglobin A2 fraction, and there will be evidence of one parent that has thalassemia minor. So in thalassemia minor, beta thalassemia minor, we will observe mild anemia. There will be microcytic hypochromic erythrocytes. There will be punctate basophilia with a raised hemoglobin A2 fraction. There will be evidence that one parent is thalassemia minor. Now, how can we treat a patient of thalassemia, beta thalassemia, whenever the patient is coming to us? For the treatment, the condition is divided into three parts. The beta thalassemia, the condition can be erythropoietic failure when there is no production of erythrocytes. There can be iron overload, or there can be splenomegaly. So different treatment has to be proposed in each and every condition. In erythropoietic failure, we have to give allogenic bone marrow transplantation with addition of folic acid 5 mg per day. So when the erythrocytes are not formed at all, in case of erythropoietic failure, we have to give allogenic bone marrow transplantation and folic acid 5 mg per day. In case of iron overload, we have to give iron. We do not have to give iron therapy because already iron is overloaded in the system. So iron chelation therapy is given in such cases. The third variety is the splenomegaly. In case of splenomegaly, when the spleen is greatly enlarged, then splenectomy is the option. So this was about the beta thalassemia that is most commonly seen in our practice. Next, we come to the alpha thalassemia. In case of alpha thalassemia, there will be reduced or absent alpha chain synthesis. So the synthesis of the alpha chain is reduced or either absent. There are two alpha gene loci on the chromosome 16, and therefore each individual carries 4 alpha gene alleles. So there are two alpha genes that are located on chromosome 16, and because of which each individual carries 4 alpha gene alleles. And if the one allele is deleted, there is no clinical effect. When the two are deleted, there is mild hypochromic anemia. When the three genes are deleted, we have hemoglobin H disease. And when all the 4 genes are deleted, the baby is stillborn. That is known as hydrops fetalis. So hemoglobin H, what is hemoglobin H? Hemoglobin H is a beta chain tetramer that is formed from the excess of beta chains, which is functionally useless. The patient rely on the low level of HbA for oxygen support, and the treatment of hemoglobin H disease is similar to that of the beta thalassemia for immediate severity. So what we have discussed in the beta thalassemia treatment, we have discussed about 3 things: for erythrocytic failure, for iron overload, and for splenomegaly. For erythropoietic failure, we have to give allogenic bone marrow transplant. For iron overload, we have to give chelation therapy. And for splenomegaly, we have to go for splenectomy. The treatment of alpha thalassemia involves folic acid supplementation and transfusion of the blood. And avoidance of the iron therapy has to be done because of the iron overload. So this is all about thalassemia that we have discussed. In the next lecture, we are going to start with a new topic. So this is all about thalassemia. I hope you have understood this session properly. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope the session is clear to you. If you have any query, please please write in the comment box and I'll try to resolve it. So this was all for today. Thank you very much. Have a good day.